And joining us now is retired Brigadier General Peter Zwack. He served in Moscow as a senior defense attaché to the Russian Federation from 2012 to 2014. General, thanks so much for joining us. You knew one of the two generals who are now missing, possibly detained, maybe worse. What do you think is going on here?
Yeah, this is frankly, by Russian standards, maybe on the edge of believable. No, this is really serious. And I knew General Gerasimov as our defense attaché because there were a lot of meetings in Moscow and all that. And I actually met General Surovikin out in the Eastern Military District, where he was after Chechnya and before he went to Syria and became the butcher of Aleppo. No, this is really, Elizabeth, this is really, really bizarre stuff, and it really goes, it's kind of a modern day deja vu from almost the Stalin times. And generals disappeared and were executed. I'm not saying that's happened, but the fact that General Gerasimov, the equivalent of General Milley, has vanished, has not come up even as a even if he were sick. You know, a statement made that he's not well is really, it's really, really strange. He did disappear during the war with Ukraine for a few weeks, but this is with the links to all of this, and then General Surovikin seemingly disappearing too, or being arrested. And you're right, the blogger sphere is wild right now. You've got to be so careful on it.
Yeah.
But in that pile of information and innuendo and suspicion, there are likely threads of truth. This is really bizarre, and it's real.
There are reports, General, that one of these two missing generals was a VIP member of the Wagner Group, which was led by Prigozhin. Do you think that could be true? And if it is, what does that indicate? He might have supported this armed rebellion.
Again, you know the old line, stranger than fiction. And it's looking like, and it just shows you how riddled Russian society is with leaks and innuendo and suspicion that this type of information is beginning, and I'll use the word, beginning to vomit out. And if it is true, then you have the number 2 general for Ukraine, who had been close to Prigozhin, first in Syria and now here, and discreetly a supporter or a member of the Wagner Group, which is also a criminal enterprise, besides being, I guess, pretty good fighters. So for him to be mixed and then to see this extraordinary pell-mell dash to Moscow last weekend is mind-boggling. And then, of course, we read about Prigozhin going to the Southern Military District in Rostov, the first stop on their way they were going, and talking to Russian generals cordially, and the crowds. This is not business as usual.
General,
you can't paint this. This is wild stuff.
There's also reports today that Putin has been spending the last 24 to 48 hours calling all of his allies in Africa and in Syria to reassure them, I'm still in control. The Wagner forces who've been protecting you will continue to protect you. What does this tell you about his grip on power? He's obviously trying very hard to show everybody I'm still in charge here. What's your analysis?
I think you're exactly right. And reaching out, one, because there are up to 6,000 Wagnerites, they call them, in and around Africa. And they're all in these expensive mines and propping up governments. And so there's a dirty financial aspect to all this that, and we've been reading, the Kremlin wants to take control of Wagner, meaning their assets, and we're talking billions. So this is a really murky story.
Well, General Peter Zwack, it'll be very interesting to see what news comes out of Russia in the next few days. You got to wonder if these two generals are even still alive. Peter Zwack, Thanks so much for being here tonight. Really appreciate your analysis.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.